Hello, hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Elise here of Plan with Elise, and today we are creating a custom spread for Courtney. I have a currently and a blank page here. This is outdated, so we're just going to take my correction tape and cover it up. And I think I said already, this is for Courtney for the month of September. So Courtney had requested any traditional fall style stickers that I wanted to use. So I actually recently picked up a new copy, a fresh copy of Autumn Allure by Live Love Posh. And I love this sticker book. It's a nice thick sticker book, but I also really love that it comes with boxes and quotes, and it's on sale right now. So it's discounted because it's from last fall, but code Elise10 will give you an additional discount on this sticker book if you are interested in picking it up. So I decided that I wanted to come in with these really beautiful leaf and flowers. I just love the colors here. And I think we're gonna go all the way to, all the way to the edge, if I can do that right. Let's try to get this lined up. Okay, oh, that's pretty. Then we need my white pen and we're gonna cover up Take Note. And before I do anything else, I want to remember to add in the currently word, because I talked in a recent video about the fact that I always forget that Currently Basics by Keleva Plan has colored currently words, and I always forget to use them. So in this situation, I'd really need to use the orange or the black, because those are the only colors that'll work. The orange, I'm afraid, is a little bit too bright. I think we're gonna do a black scene here. Like, is this the word, the letters I wanna use? I think so. But before I do this, I'm thinking that I want to add in some washi that'll kind of bring in a little bit more color and reduce the fact that like I'm adding black. I think it'll be a nice pop of color. So I have to see which washi I have that may be a good mix here. I have this one. It's like a little bit pink. And at first glance, it definitely doesn't match, but I almost feel like it's a really pretty combination with this. So I think we're gonna try that. Let me put the currently word down and see how I feel about this. I'm sort of in my color experimentation era lately. I think that it's really good. I don't need all of this. I'm just putting down more than I need. And then we're just gonna pop this right here. Got a little wrinkled, but nothing. Pressing down won't fix. Okay, I think that that looks really good. So we'll trim it here. And then I'm gonna put the same washi right up here so that when I put September down, that's sitting on it. All right. Yes, I'm liking how that's looking. We're gonna pause on this for a second, and I'm gonna shift over to Alpha Basics Volume 4, and we're going to do different black letters for September. I could do these if I think I have the color to add in that's going, I have like all these stacks of stickers next to me, that's going to be a nice combination. So let's see what colors I have. I have this Zig Dot marker that kind of has this orange in it. So maybe we do that. So I feel like what's gonna be faster here? Not like I'm in a rush, but more of just like time in general. That's not as good of a match. I was thinking that would be easier to color in with. Let's try this brown. I think that the brown is going to be too much of a contrast to the black. So instead, we're just going to go ahead and color this in. This is what I was thinking would take a while, though. That's not going to work, because what are the words I'm using? I'm trying to find. The tip on this is really thin, And so that's going to take a little bit of time. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is get all of these colored in, and then we'll come back because you don't need to watch me do this whole thing. All right, these are colored in. So I wanted to get them down. I was like, oh, I could put them down like off camera, but I figured it's part of the video. So we're just gonna pop these in. I also colored in for the right side of the page favorites, because I figured while we were doing that and had the video paused, we may as well jump in. These letters are a tiny bit bigger than this space, so I will trim off the top, but I'm putting them down in a way that I shouldn't trim off any of the actual like letter part itself, more just the white part around it. So B, E, and R. Okay, there we go. That looks cute. Do I have, oh, I knew it. I knew I was gonna do that. I left my good scissors. No, they're over here. I was unpackaging boxes yesterday, and I had my big scissors downstairs because these are like the best scissors in the house. And I was afraid I didn't bring them back up, but I did. It's a little gift to today's me from yesterday's me. And then we'll cover up the priorities section and the important section. My white pen is not feeling it today. I did just purchase another pack of these. They should actually be delivered this afternoon because I'm out. It takes me probably like a year to go through. I buy these in a pack of 12 because there's certain planner supplies that I like to have a backup for. Like this knife, I don't need a backup of this knife. This knife is not going to go bad. I may lose it, but I don't need a backup. But correction tape, white pen, undo adhesive remover, I have right here. There are certain things that I like to have a backup of because if I run out of it, like mid video, or even just like at the end of this video, if I were to run out of it, I'd kind of have a problem because I'll need it for, you know, later or tomorrow. So those are certain things that I do buy in bulk, or I'll buy a backup. So like I recently threw out a bottle of empty undo, and when I opened this new bottle, I purchased a backup so that now I always have like an extra there. It's also really good in this, I mean, I don't want to like romanticize stocking up on things because you don't always need to, but it is also good when a product gets discontinued. My old favorite correction tape, Papermate, I think, was discontinued. I'm not really picky on correction tape. This is Tombow because it's what I had, but I also have this one, which is no brand. I think it's an Amazon Basics one. So there are certain supplies that I'm really not picky with, but others that I am, like my white pen. Okay, I'm looking at, I have the Kelva Plan Currently Basic sticker book here, and there were certain words that I was looking for. So I was seeing if there was like a working on. I usually put prioritizing here. See, waiting on, writing, volunteering. I don't know that I see what I'm looking for. What we could do is pull out Currently by Mojo Jojo Plans, because I'm pretty sure this has prioritizing or working towards, and we can do some up here and some down there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do reflecting on and working towards. This is a little bit wider, but it's okay. Working towards and reflecting on. That's pretty. And then if we come back here, I know that there are these bullet points. They're a little bit smaller, but I think that they'll be pretty with this. So let's do this like burnt orange. It'll work, but I first have to cover up. the number. There's a tiny bit that shows through. Or I first want to cover up the number. I try to be careful about the use of want versus need, because I have this like memory of getting out of school one day. I think I was in high school. I don't remember. And my dad was picking me up from school. And at the time he wasn't working. He was, that was when he was sick, but he did pick me up from school. And I talked to him for a minute, and then he said something to me like, you know, and we didn't live far from school. We didn't live far enough for there to be a bus. I would guess maybe like 2 miles max from the school. But he's like, you know, since you got in the car, all you've said was, I need. And none of them were actual needs. And that's always kind of stuck with me, of being mindful of using the word need versus want. I don't think that you're taking it that way when I'm doing a planner video and saying like, I need to do this, because it's not that serious, but it's just one of those word choices that I've tried to be mindful of. Probably unintentionally, but then as I hear myself say it sometimes, I realize it and it kind of takes me back. Okay, down here, I wanted to use Hexagon boxes. This is a really good color, but I don't know if I have a second really good color. Probably, maybe this one. Let's see. It's the purple. That's more of a pink. This one is really good. I kind of need that like burnt, like this actually may work. The two of these together, I think these will work. Okay. The only problem about using these is that they're not going to, it's going to be harder to get the currently words to fit in them because they're a little bit more narrow. So we'll have to come up with a game plan or just choose some different words. But I love the way hexagons look, and I wanted to include them here. Let's put this one here. I don't think we need a ton. And then maybe we just do one more, like here. Down to the bottom a little bit. I like that. And then what we can do in this blank space is take something like this that says, it's fall, y'all, little planner sticker, like right over there would be cute. And we can also take one of these extra little leaves here. And what I'm gonna do is put it on my hand to remove some of the stickiness, because I'm gonna put it here, but I wanna cut it so that it's flush against that hexagon. And then when I lift up this part, I don't want it to pull the color with it. And it just did. So that wasn't my goal. It's the exact opposite of my goal, actually. All right, let's see what we can do here. I probably didn't remove enough of the sticky from it, but you can kind of see the look there. So now that means we need to go back to hexagon boxes, and I do have some good tricks for this if you do it accidentally. So we really only have a tiny bit that needs to be covered. So I'm going to start with the thickest part of the overprint here and cut it out with my knife first. Then we'll pull it off with my tweezer. It's a little bit tougher to pull up. Try from this side. We have a tiny bit of white here, so I'm just going to cut that. We just have a teeny tiny piece left that needs to be fixed. So if you didn't make a huge mistake and it's just on a little part of it, always try with this overprint first so that you're not using like an extra hexagon. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, you wouldn't even know. Now, the next thing I was going to do was just look at my fall quote options. I thought if there was something small like hello fall, that could be cute right over here. Let's bring in some more washi with it. Why not? Yeah. Sometimes that little extra bit makes a big difference. And then here, we're going to use my knife to trim just so it's a nice clean edge against the hexagon. There we go. And usually washi won't rip up the part of the sticker like that did before. The only time I really see that happen is if it's number one, brand new washi, like you've never opened it before, or if it's not real washi, but it's the sticker, it's in a sticker book, but it looks like washi. So those are the times to be mindful of. Okay, let's come back to these currently words now and choose some words. So the one thing about this sticker book is that all the words are the same width. So if there's a word that, or all the stickers are the same width. But if there's a word that's a little bit shorter that you want to use, I'd recommend cutting it first, or you can cut it when it's out of the book, but it'll be easier to put down. So I think that looking forward to would be a good word here. And let's do, let's do proud of. I'm also going to trim this. And I also want to do working on. I'm going to trim all of these. I don't usually do this, but I feel like because we're using the hexagons and they're narrow, I want to give myself as much space as possible. It's going to go a little bit over, but it's still visible. It's visible on the orange. It's not going to be as visible on the burgundy. I also know, like, I know Courtney and I know that she'll be okay if this is going over. So I'm going to be shorter ones on the burgundy. And then we just need 2 more. I wanted reading. I know I saw reading somewhere. Reading. Got writing, cleaning. It has to be in here. It's got to be in here. There's no way Heather would make a sticker book without reading in it. Let's try this again. Cooking, celebrating, baking, eating, drinking, traveling, reading. There's one left. That's why I wasn't seeing it. So let's see. We'll put this over here. And then one more. Let's do feeling. Okay. What a cute left side of the page. I like how that's looking. Now we're going to shift to the right side, and I'm first going to add in my washi again. Let's put this over here. And then pull it up. I may trim it a little bit shorter than that. And then we're going to come back to Alpha Basics, to those stickers that I colored in earlier. And we're going to put favorites. So R will be in the middle, and then continue through. T, oops, T, E, and S, O, V. I wonder how many times I've spelled out favorites on my channel at this point. It's been a lot. I never quite get this centered, but it's okay because I'll come in then with some more of the florals, and we could do like a little floral element like right over here, and I think that that looks cute. And then just trim that through again so then those match. I'd like to do another corner, so I did a corner down at the bottom left. I'd like to do one on the right side also because it kind of just like closes out the spread. Not closes, but balances maybe is the word I'm looking for. And then we're going to take this washi, and if you don't really want to have to like cut the washi perfectly, you can just tuck it under a sticker like that, and we'll put it down here, and I'll just end it about there as well. And then it's perfectly like layered underneath that. Now for the favorite side of the page. So this is where we're going to create like an element, a section of stickers for Courtney to be able to create or to write down her favorites. So this is why I didn't want to use the boxes that came in Live Love Posh's Autumn Allure for the first half, because I knew I wanted to include them over here and I didn't want to run out because it's harder to match. So we're just going to kind of play around. It's what I usually do with these, is kind of switch things up and move them, like change the orientation, all of that. This one though, I want to make sure I get this straight on the line. I wasn't getting it straight on the line before. Okay, that's good. Then we can do this one. Let's kind of switch it up. Maybe we'll put this over here. Let's put this here. And then we can take this one and put it here again. I know that there's gaps. We're going to fill in those gaps, so don't worry about it. And then we can pick this here. Let's do this peach color. Not really peach. I don't know what color that is. It's not peach though. That was wrong. Let's add this one. And then maybe one more. All right, that looks cute. Then I'm going to come back here and we're going to kind of fill in some of these spaces. So this time I want to be really careful about getting this less sticky so it doesn't rip anything. And usually on your hand is fine. You can also use wax paper, but you really just want to remove a lot of it. And then we're going to press this part down more, not really press the other part, and try to get some good trims out of this. With a piece like this, I can definitely reuse it. So even here, like, we can pop it in right underneath. You may be able to do that with all these. Just here. This one will be a little bit less to reuse. I think my camera shakes a little bit when I'm cutting, so sorry about that. These aren't perfect. There's a little bit of gaps. It's harder when these are on paper because I can't really see. I'm just sort of going visually. So it's not always going to be perfect, but I think that it looks really good like that. And then let's do, I really like this crunchy leaves, cozy knits, and pumpkins. And we're going to kind of add that in too. I think that that's good. And then I'm going to take my washi again and bring this in for a couple more spots. So if I lift this a little bit, just kind of bend it up, we can layer this underneath. Oops, that didn't work. Okay. Let me put this down here. We can trim this because you can see through it a little bit, so we can get a nice clean trim there, and then here too. Just kind of angle it like that. Okay, that's cute. Then let's do one more piece. I'm just gonna cut this first so it's straight, and we'll add it in right here. Oh, keep messing that up. Add it in right there. I want to go a little bit lower so there's some space. Okay, there we go. Perfect. That looks really good. Next up, we need to add in some favorites words. So we're going to create some of these for Courtney. So let's do memory. Over here, I'm going to put outing. I know that Courtney does a lot of her social activities during the week, and I think it would be fun to like document her favorite outing. We'll do meal here. Book. Achievement. I'm going to do purchase because sometimes there's a purchase we make that we're really happy about and it's our favorite one of the month. And I know Courtney is really intentional about her spending, so I feel like being able to write down her favorite purchase would be good. Let's do weekend. And I think we'll leave the other two. I like to leave some of these. It's not me just being like, I don't want to think of any more. I just like to leave some of them so that whoever's receiving the spread can add them in on their own. So I think that we are all set with Courtney's spread. This came out so pretty. This is one of my favorite sticker sets. Remember, Autumn Allure, code Elise10 will give you an extra discount on top of this sticker book already being discounted. So it's a really good sale. And hopefully you will pick it up. I'll link everything I used in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.